Alright, welcome back to Rise of the Tomb Raider. Now, if you remember, on my last recording, I was back at the shop where the guy sells some items, and I brought 2 sets of lasers to get the accuracy of the guns to be completely accurate of wherever you're aiming at. Now, I brought one for the pistol and one for the rifle. And that means any rifle that you use or any pistol you use, they all have the same laser that goes on top of it. Okay, so that's that bit sorted for you. Now, each one of those was 25 coins each, so that's 50 coins I spent on there. And with the shop and the main map for that one, I've collected everything on there, so that'll be 100% completed. As well as I went to Jacob's and Sophia's place again to collect a fair few items up, which is like the documents and the coins and everything else. And when I went back to the woman that is in Jacob's and Sophia's place, where I could collect some more coins, which is what I've done, and that's where I have left the recording, if you remember correctly. And so I did that, and that is where we are gonna start today when this loads up. So just sit tight, we'll be there in a few seconds or so. So I'm gonna have a bit of a sip of my tea as I've set it up ready. Okay, so probably another 3 seconds or so before it starts, or something like that. And then somewhere in the middle of the recording, we will be going to the Lost City, which is the final map. And here we are. And so, when you do your saves, you usually have a TR symbol on the right hand screen, on your side of your screen, should I say. And it should have kept me right here, but it didn't.
Been inside some of the tombs. I have, but I don't think I found all of them yet.
So now, as I said, that this woman here, which is where I should have been saved, but it hasn't done that. Okay, so when you know it's saved is when you look at the right hand side screen when you're playing it on your own. You have the T and R symbol around the right hand side corner, and it'll turn around in a circle around it. The TR, which is pronounced as tomb, and then the R is Raider. So now, when she said about you being some of the tombs, which is basically the tombs allows you to collect some coins, some new weapons, and the tombs will basically allow you to collect all sorts of things, like allow you to find things a bit more easier by pushing R3 nozzle to make it go yellow, which is the one, I'm pretty sure it's my last recording I did. Or was it the one before that? I can't remember from the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure it's the one before I did. So that one, which was with the water that rises up into a high bit, and where I had to use whatever weapon to shoot an explosive box, where I had to sling it into a part of a door, a round door that's boxing your way in to stop you getting through. Where I did that, where you had to keep flicking shooting boxes to grab hold of whatever you can get the water to rise up even higher to go towards the highest point of the tower that was in the middle, and that was the one where I could just allow you to find things a bit more easier that'll go yellow, and that was one tomb. And with the tombs in each map, which is like this one here, so speaking of maps, these are all these maps. Now the last map is this one right here, but that's not all of them. There is one map that will turn up in here, I think. Or is it down here? I'm pretty sure it could be down here. But like I say, with that map that will turn up, which will only come across when you talk to Nadia in a locker that's in this map, which was I was saying about on my last recording, where you'll have her to talk to. So if you look on my last recording I did, you'll find her in there, where the tomb, the Wicked Vale map would turn up, which was to do with Nadia's grandmother and grandfather, and Nadia doesn't know where they went, which is where she's asking for Lara Croft to find out. Now, the thing with that Wicked Vale place is that I have set a first recording of Rise of the Tomb Raider game. I'll put it at the top, which is when I put a tip on that to say leave that to the very end of the game. Okay, because they'll have a fair few problems coming along and a couple of bits and pieces that will be a bit more tricky for you to suss out and how to deal with it. But I have put some bits and pieces on that first recording I've done, which will show you some bits and pieces what you can do and what's simple enough to do straight away before you go back into that place for the second time, which I've said about you might want to look on someone else's YouTube channel to figure out how to finish it off. So that's what I was going to say. Leave that to the very end until you have plenty of time to finish it off whenever you want to, or if you don't want to complete it, that's fine. But like I say, you can do it any time you want, but it's always best to leave it to the very end of the game. Okay, right, so next of all, as you see me finish off this map on my last recording to pick up all the documents. Now speaking about documents, there's a list on the bottom left corner where it will show you tombs completed, missions completed, challenges completed, something boxes, which is big boxes where you can find your guns, your rifles, your shotguns, your pistols. Those are what's in there. And the next one down, I can't pronounce that right, but that is to do with these things down here, which is this one right here. Now that is a big box, a massive, great big box. Now, if you see my second recording with Constantine, where you have to try and escape from him, that's where there's all the criminals that's trying to grab hold of something that you're going to have to grab hold of, which you have got at the moment, but it's been taken away. Because it is supposed to be about, I'm trying to think of what it is now. I'll get to it in a little while. But yeah, that one there is to do with the one that's next to that big word with the box beside it, below it. Okay, the next one is relics, which is what I've been collecting, which is one that was down in here somewhere, which was a box that had a little board game that Lara said about. And of course, you've got your next one, is your documents, which is one of those I had to pick up previously on my last recording. And mirrors. And the mirrors were just roughly the next one below this one down here that I was on about. One of where you can go through these will allow you to give you some bows. Now, when you find these entrances, they'll allow you to find some bow parts, different bows kind of things. So if you open up big boxes, that'll give you different gun parts. You have to find 4 of each one of them. Okay, so it's exactly the same with going through one of these. Okay, they'll allow you to give you different bow parts, but you have to keep going through different ones of these to find the specific 4 of the same sets of each of the bows. Okay, so those are the bows, and the big lockers, that's one of these that's in here. But yeah, you need to find all sorts of ones to allow you to get those. But I've done the last recording to show you the rest of the remaining boxes in every single other maps that's been completed already. Okay, and so now what I'm going to do next is possibly have a go at trying to complete the challenge, which is the only one that's left on this map, as well as all the other maps I've been poking around in here. They're all completed, apart from this one right here, which is the Lost City, which is where we've got to go soon. Okay, so now everything has been picked up in this map, so you don't have to do absolutely nothing else. Or you can go and try and complete some pumpkin throwing into some boxes. Right, so if I press the circle button, you can make Lara roll around like that. Just keep pushing it several other times. Or if you're on an Xbox, then you probably want to press the special B letter, which has never made any sense to me, but they are. And speaking about the pumpkins, you have to sling them in boxes. Now, I have only thrown several of the pumpkins into boxes, buckets, and I have absolutely failed one of them. Now, speaking about buckets and pumpkins, what you'll have to do is basically throw one pumpkin in each bucket. Okay, that's what you've got to do with the buckets and the pumpkins. You have to throw one at a time, only one, through each box. Okay, so basically your pumpkins are over here. Alright, these are all here. And now the way I'm holding the gun is L2, which means that you're holding the gun. Okay, and that's exactly the same with the pumpkins, but you're going to have to pick those up by pressing X or square. Okay, right, now the pumpkins has to go into these buckets, and there's 5 of them, so it means you have to throw each pumpkin in each bucket. Okay, so there's one. I'm going to point out where they are first of all. Try and tell you what, press circle, that'll be a bit more quicker. Right, so your first bucket, which is over it. Okay, so there's one, which I've done, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so you got to throw one in there, and then you got to throw the one I just showed you just a few seconds ago, but I'll show it to you again just to make you figure out where it was or where they all are. So the second one's over there in here. Okay, which is the one I've done. I wasn't supposed to do that anyway. I did. Another bucket, which is right here. Okay, so there's the other one. So there's your your third one. Your fourth one, which is the one I'm trying to get into. But like I said, this one's the trickiest freaking one of all. You have to get it in this bucket here. So that one right there. That is the trickiest one of all, basically. And the final one is just up there. Okay? So you got to basically throw each one of those pumpkins in every single bloody one. And this bucket is always the one I freaking fluff up on. Now, with the tomb I said about the last one I did, which allow you to find things easier. Now, you can either go to skill points and select it to allow you to push R3 nozzle to make it go yellow, or you can either go to the tomb that I did, which will go yellow for when you get closer towards an item, like a bit of sticks or some tree leaves, which I'll show you what that is in a little while. I'm going to have a good couple of goes at throwing this pumpkin in this bloody bucket. Now, the aim of the game with this thickening thing, you want to make sure that the circle, if I point the circle on the floor like this, you want to make sure the circle is roughly pointing at the bottom of the slopey bit. But now with this pumpkin one in that bucket, you've got some fences of these things. They're going to freaking try and stop you from slinging them in there, which is part of the challenge. You got to try and get it in there, but if you get it on top of there, it'll make the pumpkin break. So like I say, you have to try and be really flicking accurate. But this one, like I said, this one's the trickiest one because you can't flick and see it. Oh, fail. So like I say, every time when you fluff up, oh, push the wrong button. We'll deal with that in a second. So like I say, if you fluff up and waste all your pumpkins, then you have to do some fast travelling back and forth. Got him. Got him indeed. So that's where you want to be. Okay, that's how you can get it in there. Alright. So now, as I come back into the map, it will say challenge is completed from 5 out of 5. Okay, so that is that out of the way. Now, I'll deal with the bow in a minute, or in a little while. Now, actually, I'll tell you what. Now, the bow allows you to spend some sticks of wood, which is these things down here. Okay, and also if you want some, if you look at the top right corner, there's a number on the right side that says 21. Now that means how many arrows you can fire out of your bow, whichever kind of bow you're going to use. So if you had 6 on there and you want to grab some more, then you might want to grab some sticks of wood or some feathers, and what you want to do is hold R2, hold it in for a few seconds. But what that's going to do is going to take some stuff off you to give you some more arrows, what you already had. Okay, so what it's going to do is going to take 1 feather and 2 sticks of wood. Okay, if you've got fair load of sticks and feathers, then you can go and do that and just make yourself have some more if you want, or you can find some other arrows. You can find some more of arrows plopped around behind some tree trunks or somewhere else. You'll be able to find them. Okay, so you can always do that. So how you can grab some more of those things. Alright, so that is all that crap out of the way. I was desperate to try and keep doing that and try and get it finished. As you've seen a couple of recordings I've done, I just kept going back and forwards, and you're probably saying, stop doing that, it's getting flicking annoying. You keep going back and forwards doing the same old flicking crap. You can't flicking do it. It's impossible. But I've always said to myself, it is flicking tricky, and sometimes it can really wind you up when you want it to go your way and it don't want to say you're not having it. You're flicking not having it. But yeah, it's always that can always just get in your way. Right, now I'm going to try and find the cap now. Getting there. Should have gone the other way, but oh well. Well, there you go. Right, so now, as you look at the bottom left corner, you've got coins. Now, speaking about the coins, I will explain that in good time. Right, okay. Now then. But also you can get some feathers from chickens. As you can see, there's a load of them running away. You can use your axe to whip them by pressing Y or triangle. As long as they don't run away. Which a couple of them will run away, so... Come here. So you can press triangle and Y. Triangle or Y. Come here, you. Oh, there you go. You can get some sticks of wood by pinching some off these things. Okay. So if you're low on arrows and you got a fair load of sticks of wood and you use some of them for that, then just grab them from there. Oh, come here, you freaking thing. There, have that. And you can get feathers like that on them. Alright, so you can do whatever you want. It's up to you. Right. So now we are going to the Wicked Vale. Not the Wicked Vale, sorry. I'm thinking too far ahead. Okay, so now we're going to the Lost Valley. That is where we are heading this time. Oh, thank God for that. I wasn't expecting to get that done today, trust me. But yeah, like I say, you can always leave that to last if you want. Right. Now then. With the bows, there's only a few left to grab hold of. Okay. So there's not many to go. Right. Now, as we are at the Lost City, if you can look at the left-hand side corner, in the middle of the corner somewhere, you'll find some items to be picking up. Now, you have to find one tomb, which is the final tomb, to be completed for you to grab some more coins from the woman that is around here that I showed you earlier. Okay, so there's just only one of those left. Okay, right now on the map again, you will gone too far in. You'll have to find four challenges to complete. Okay, now the challenges are basically 4 different things. Okay, now you've also got a next one down, which is to do with the bow. Now that will just allow you to have one more bow to be grabbed hold of. Because I'm pretty sure that there is only bow that has to be collected in this game. But I'm going to double check if I am absolutely correct in a few seconds as I'm zooming around the place. So let me see. Does it show me anything like that in here? Or am I barking at the wrong tree? I could be barking at the wrong tree. Yeah, I'm barking at the wrong tree. But yes, we will get to that very shortly. But yeah, you got one of those boxes for you to carry, open up for your bow. And also you got to collect 10 relics in a box. And it should give you some items to look at or either turn around. Also, you've got 8 documents to pick up, even though I've got 1. Okay, so you'll have to find one of them. You'll have to find 3 mirrors, 6 documents, and only 3 coins. Now, I can explain that to you very soon. Alright. I'm still searching. Or is that the wrong game I'm on about? It might be the wrong game. Yes, I think. Oh, hang on a minute. Got it right here. Now, where's the Wicked Vale? It's over here. It doesn't say how many there are. It doesn't say on my other phone I've got. Nope, it doesn't say. Okay, so we won't worry about that for now. Okay, right, now with the coins, they are going to be involved in a tall thing for Lara to read on. Now, as I said before, with the bow, you'll have to go through one of these, which is what you will find. Okay, so you'll find one of them in there. All right, so now we shall start with going into the very important Wicked Vale now, the Lost City. So the Lost City will allow you to grab most of the other bits and pieces that is left in the game, but it's not quite all of it, because you'll have the Wicked Vale to deal with, which has always been really flipping awkward at times. Right, okay, so here we go. Right, the first document I picked up, which was on this desk, top right here, you can grab hold of if you want. Right, also what you want to do is grab a good decent weapon. Right, so with weapons, you might want to grab hold of assault rifle or the SMG gun, but I wouldn't say you want to grab that, because otherwise you'll run out of bullets. Okay, now you can also grab this one I brought from the shop a while ago, so you can grab that. if you want and use it, which I might use because this one allows you to carry more bullets, which is ammo capacity, which is this one right here. Okay, that is what you want to grab hold of. Okay, and recoil is basically the accuracy to be a bit more spot on. And the next one down, which is reload speed, that'll be more speed for the bullets to go in. So if I use my fingers to click, you might get that, or you might get that sort of speed into it to get more chances of loading up your gun back together again. Rate of fire is this one right here, is a symbol as a keyboard key. You might want to select that for rate of fire for the bullets to come straight out instead of just a few shots. Like if I use my hands for example, when I do that and the bullet's just doing that, you just only doing a bit of that. And if you want a bit more bullets into it and you want to make it to go ballistic, like that sort of speed, you might want to grab that and use that. And basically the damage is just more of the force that can come onto someone badly if you want, but they're also going to take some stuff off you. Alright, so speaking of which, the head is the damage basically. If you've been following along from where I am, then for the head for this one, it will take off 4 oil sets. If you look at the right hand side corner where it says cost, and the oil, which is the little dribbly drips, like if you're crying for example and you see that sort of thing, that's going to cost 4 off you, and it's going to take some nuts off you, which is 12. And on the right hand side of it where the cost says, it says infinity, which is basically your bag. Like if you brought your wallet or your purse down the shops and you used your bank card in the till in the for goodness sake, in HSBC bank, people allows you to take some money out your card. And so if you bought your £50 out of it and the infinity says £50, or say if you was to buy something from Tesco's and you want to buy some bags of potatoes and they're going to cost you £20, and you've only brought £50 from your bank and you're going to spend 20 and you only have £30 left. It's pretty much like that, but I've only got 20 oil at the minute and I've only got 26 coins nuts, so I'm not going to put any of that in there. And with the recoil on this top one right here, it's going to take 5 cloths off you, 11 animals at the bottom in infinity. And with the next one down for the next infinity, take 16 of those off you, the 16 animals. And the tigers is only going to take 1 off you. And the next one down for the infinity, which is 10 oils and 11 nuts for that. And the reload is all complete. Now speaking of that, this gun, if you selected this one and this one and this one down it, that will unlock the ammo capacity. So each 3 of these you select of the reloads, it will unlock it. As you can see, this one right here has got a red cross on the rate of fire. That'll be locked. Now that means you're going to have to select this one right here to unlock it. Okay. Now speaking about the ammo capacity, right, I'll deal with that in a minute. And the rate of fire, if you want to select that, it's going to take off 6 cloths and 12 nuts. And the next one down, when you have unlocked that one, which will take you 19 nuts off you and freaking 3 springs off you. Alright, so that's that. Now I'm going to switch to the other guns. Now, as I said, with this gun, which is the assault rifle, it's the same as the other one I pointed out, which was this one right here. Okay, So if you now look, this ammo capacity is unlocked. Okay, as well as this one, which is your reload speed, that is locked. So now when you've selected this reload, this ammo capacity will be unlocked. So you can select it anytime you want. Alright, but the other gun, the other rifle, which was this one, you have to select every single one of the 3 of these reloads. This one and this one. So you have to do every single one of those 3 for that other one, for this one to be unlocked on the other gun. Alright, so like I say, but this one has always got less damage on this one than the other one. Okay, but it never makes any sense. But if you look at the top, the bottom left corner where I am, it's got green lines and red lines, and also a white one at the bottom, which is rate of fire. Now when you see it white, that means both of those guns has the same amount of rate of fire, or the same recoil, or the same damage, or the same reload. They're the same sort of ones they are. Okay, so I'm going to select it, which I'm going to use. But with the SMG gun, they're different. So that one won't have the same thing as what those assault rifles I had earlier that I showed you. Alright, but you want to use this one wisely, because this one chucks a load of bullets at once. Alright, so you want to be very, very careful. But if you want to be really careful, use these sort of assault rifles. Okay, because these things only take 1 shot a bullet. So if you had 90 bullets at the top right corner and it said how many you got, then you can just use this one and just shoot 1 bullet at a time. But what you want to do is select the reload speed and top it right up, so you can get a chance of shooting more than 1 bullet at a time. Because if you're shooting a bullet out of this gun, you're probably having about maybe 5 seconds, or even flicking 6 seconds before the gun has got that bullet back into the gun to fire at your enemy, whatever enemy you've got to deal with. Okay, so you want to be very careful with this gun. It's always flicking dodgy. So like I say, you just want to put some reload in it. Alright, so I'm going to stay away from that. Right, okay, so let's move on. So also you might want to use some skill points if you want them. And you can use all them, but I'm going to leave those as well for the time being, because I am not going to do that. Right, okay, so you'll find some enemies to deal with, but you want to be very careful. Okay, so what you want to do is listen to Lara's voice when you zip down this line. And then there'll be another line to go down. Alright. Hop down it. So as Lara says, you want to stay out of sight. So you want to be very, very, very flipping careful. So you want to try and stay on top of these roofs if you can. Right, also what you want to do is, if I can find it. Is it over here, or is it on the other one? Could be on the other one, to be honest. As you can hear some footsteps. Which is one of these things. There's a fair load of them, and they've got shields on them. So you're going to use a fair load of bullets to flick and kill them. Alright? So, basically, like I say, you want to stay out of sight and try and be very quiet and sneak around the place if you can. Alright? So you want to be very careful. Right, also, what you want to do is get your bow and fire a bit of string around some tied up bits and pieces. Now the way to do that is to push L2 and push R2 for your boat. And now what you want to do is go to this little cog right here and turn your L3 nozzle towards your left. Nope, sorry, right. There we go. Now it's going to put itself back. Okay. So now if I push circle, this thing will be opened up. Right. Also, you'll find a challenge, which is to do with one of these bells. Now you want to cut some of these off. And you're going to have to cut off, wait a second, 5 of them. You want to cut 5 of them off. Right, also what I'm going to try and do is try and stay out of sight as well as talk to you guys at the same time. So you want to try and hop straight on top of it by pressing A or X. There's one of them guys. There. He's up there. But there might be 2, there might be 1. Who knows? Right, also as you can see there was a triangle letter popping up, which means I can do a stunt by standing up here, which might take a chance at by pressing triangle and keep pushing it for Lara to use the axe to whip him to death, and he'll vanish into stony little things at the floor. So you want to grab that by pressing X or square.
There's something behind that barrier.
Yes, Lara. What could it be? So now, the way to get into there, which is why I've opened this up. Okay, so you want to hop down. So this is where you will find a map. Now, that map will allow you to find some things that's hidden on your main map, which I'll show you in a second, but I'll tell you what, I'll do it now. Right, this is your main map. Okay, so the map that you picked up will allow you to find some things that are hidden really well. Now, you'll find some things flashing around the place. So to say, I'm over here, hello, are you going to find me? No, you're not going to bother finding me? Huh? Oh, okay then. You hide from me, see if I care. So you can always use that to allow you to find things a bit more easier. Okay, but also you might want to look for some bags as well for you to find a specific thing or whatever you might be after. Okay, so you can use that for a bit of advantage to see if you can actually get some bits and pieces that you're desperately after. Okay, so always best to look for some maps so you can just grab anything that is absolutely what you're desperately after. But there is another 2 of those maps hiding somewhere, but I'm gonna have to try and track it down on my head from how this map goes, because it is a flicking awkward. Right, so you want to pull this string down. Alright, so you can get yourself back out, because you can't get back out of there, or you might be able to get back up by using your string and your axe by pressing A and X or X and square, but I'm not too sure if Lara can grab all of that. I'm absolutely certain she cannot. No, don't think so. Right, like I say, you want to stay out of sight, so you want to try and get on top of a roof or something. Because there's a fair load of guys, remember what I said. So like I say, you can use some string of the bow to hop straight back over. And also don't forget there's 5 bells as well, what I said earlier. Right, so let's try and find another bell, if I can remember where they are. Also get Lara to use her axe and the string, if you've been following along. Alright, back up here. Don't want to be spotted. Also, you can hear some pigs. Well, you'll be finding some pigs just walking around. But I'm not too sure if they're actually pigs. I think they're like boars. Alright, hop on top of the roof. Right, also you can stick some arrows, which is some yellow arrows, to stick in some wood, which is these things, which is one that's going to go in there. So you probably want to throw about 4 arrows or 3 arrows. You want to stick one there, one a bit more higher up, so you can climb up. Like I say, you want to try and stay out of trouble. So also when you're doing these sort of things, you want to just look around and see if there's absolutely freaking nothing over here before you go and do anything, because if you don't, you're going to get spotted. Now L3 I'm using, which allows me to get Lara to bend over like that with one arm bending downwards. And you want to grab the ice with your axes by pressing X straight away and hop straight up on top of this roof, and you'll find some bit of white paint over here, so you can hop straight up on top of it. And now you will find I'm pretty sure you'll find a document over here somewhere.
I must have fallen asleep.
And let me find out what that one was. I'm pretty sure that is a document. Yep, that's a document. And also, if you can see with my arrow that's pointing at something that's white, that'd be a relic. Now that's hiding, so you won't find it up here. But also you will find a bell, so you want to cut that off with another dong just like that. Okay, but also you want to do is use this bit of wood bark with some string tied around it and aim it into there, so Lara can tie the string around it. Okay, and also come zipping your way down it. Alright, you probably want to stay up here for a bit so you can stay out of sight while there's a load of people around it. But like I say, you can always try and outsmart them by hopping somewhere and possibly try and sneak behind them and grab hold of something. Right, so next of all, now the trouble with this place is too flicking big, so you might walk into a load of trouble or either get flicking lost. And also, like I say, when you find someone, oh crap. But yeah, like I say, it's always this sort of thing that gets in your way. Come on. Now what you can do, wait for him to swing towards you and then press Y, press B or circle when you've got a stunt skill. Like that I can do. Wait for him to come to you and press B or circle when they start trying to swing at you. And where Lara can just do that if you want, without wasting any bows or arrows or anything. But also, if you want to, you can burn this down with a fire bow. Now what you want to do, as you can see me switching it, what you want to do is push your D-pad up key 2 times so it switches it. There's your gases. Oh, there's your explosives. There's your gases. And there's your fire arrows. Oh, also what you want to do is hold R2. R1, sorry. Sorry, Laura, don't mean to burn you either. So R1 is always the key to use any of those things. Also, you'll find some mushrooms if you want to grab all of them there. Also, you'll find a dong noise, which means you'll find one of these. Now this allows you to find some coins. Now this one right here will allow you to give you 3 coins. Now if you look at the bottom left hand corner, it says coin something word. Now if you can see in between that word, it says 0 out of 3. Now if it's got 0 out of 6, that means you're going to have to find 2 of them things to give you 3 coins out of 3. Alright, so if you had 3 of those that said 0 out of 9, you're going to have to find 3 of them. Alright, so it's the same thing with this map right here. Alright, where it says 0 out of 9, if you look at the bottom corner, you have to find 3 of them. And one was over there. One was sitting right up there. And the other one was up there. Okay. So you have to find one of these. But now this one needs an M2 letter. Now, if I push L2, L1, again, and again. And if you look at the right hand side corner, there's an M letter, which is try to pronounce what that is. But with the R1, the R letter, that's Russian, and E is Greek. But you don't need E and R for that. But you need an M, which is M2. Okay. Might be Muslim. I don't know, it might be Muslim. If you know your Greeks and Russian languages and bits and pieces. You'll need to get 3 of these at 2 M's, 2 number for M for this one.
Mongolian grammar is tricky, but it reads like directions.
Directions, yes, Lara. So you'll find some coins. Also, you'll find some documents. You'll find a challenge as well to burn these things down. Alright, same again. R1, let go. And make sure you hold L2 to remember to get the bow or whatever weapon you're using. So you want to burn them down. You want to burn 8 of them. And I'm going to try and go remember where the freaking hell where they all are. But there's also another one right there to burn it down. So there's 2 out of 8. So you're going to find a fair load of those. Alright. So just be aware. Right. Also you'll find another box right here for some more nuts if you want them. Let me use R3. Some more arrow sticks in a tube that some arrows are in, so you can grab those instead of just using sticks and feathers if you want. Let me try and get up here, stay out of trouble. But yeah, like I said, this one can be really tense. There's a pot right here to grab hold of some bits and pieces, whatever it wants to give you. As you may have seen, it just wanted to give me a flicking feather, even though I'm full of them bloody things. Oh dear. Like I said, this one can be a right flicking pig to suss up where you're flicking going. Whereas when you've got a load of criminals right in your bloody way. Let's hop down and hop straight over here with another bit of cloth if you want it, or if you're desperately after it. Also, you want to grab the roof on top of it, where you'll find another string that's tied up to a bow. A string tied up to some rope to hang up a bell for the challenge to knock that down, which is allow you to have 3 out of 5. Been there. Oh dear. Oh dear. Use my axe and string to keep myself tied up for a little bit. Also, you might want to hop straight over it where the string's tied up if you want to zip your way down it if you want. Oh, good catch. Right, also you don't want to be going too far around this place because there's loads of these around shit. So like I say, it's really flicking busy around here. Like I say, wait for them to come to you. Ouch. Come, you just swinging axes. Ow. Not like that. Some of these might want to throw fire arrows at you. Come on, give me that freaking stunt kill. Also, you might want to hop in here to protect yourself a little bit if you want. But you won't stay there for very too long. But I'm staying here. So. But what you want to do is try and get yourself covered, so you can't take any damage from people that's killing you. Alright? And the only way you can tell you're getting hurt is when the screen changes into red. Oi! Yeah, have that. Ow! Oh, you're one of them. Yep, there's another one. Stab in the neck. But also, what you can do, right, when you get the letter to turn up with your Y or triangle, what you can do is switch your weapon. Ow! And sometimes you might use another weapon on them. Ow, crap. You don't want to be in there just yet. I'll try and speak up as I'll try and keep them speaking at the same time. Right, when they're in the water, you can't pick those up. Alright? So try not to worry about that. Right, also in here you'll find something, I'm sure of it. But like I say, it's quite flicking big, so you won't know exactly if you're barking at the right tree. As in confirming to say, am I doing the right thing here, or am I doing something wrong, or whatever. Also, there's one of these things again, up here, you can burn down. So that'll be 3 out of 8. But like I say, what I might do is stick to some of the ones that I know whereabouts and just leave that specific one alone, and then you can track them down for whichever one you haven't got just yet. Alright, so you can always use that for your advantage. Right, also you can go straight down to the water by holding L2 and go the wrong way, sorry. You want to go straight into this hole right here, and just keep the L2 pushed in and push B or X, B or triangle. No, sorry. Press, B or circle, and then let go of L2 and get Lara to pull herself up. And you can find some mushrooms there if you want it. Also a mirror right there to grab hold of.
Valentinus.
for Lara to read for a few seconds, which will boost your E up, even though you don't really need it, but you might want to grab on it so you can get 100% of the game and get Lara to smack this wall down by pressing the square or the very good X, but you have to push it once at a time, but you're going to need to do it 3 times. Alright, for Lara to rip it all out so she can walk through it. Alright, so now what you'll find is a roll right here.
After the city
was built, is what it was going to say. But with the speeches of those sort of things, you can just skip them by pressing the B or the circle. Alright. Right, also you'll find some mushrooms if you want them over there. But most importantly, you want to push B just about 1 or 2 times, where you'll find another box, which is what I was on about, which will allow you to have your one that is below challenges, okay, which is the only one you need, which allows you to find your bow. Alright, so every time when you come across one of them, you'll need to grab that for whatever bow you're after, or any of them you want. And as that one says that word, that means I've got a whole set of those ones, whichever one that is. Alright, so like I say, you need to find 4 of the same one. Okay, right. Also, I'm going to try and get Lara to flicking come back up, but she flicking ain't going to do that. So, like I say, with the mushrooms you might want to grab hold of. Now, that thing over there, now that is to do with your powerful explosives. Okay, now let me show you that. Now, the explosives are in those little walls that you can whack your axe through, which allow you to grab one of these, or it might give you one of these. Now, one of those is just to do with some cans you can explode, or give you one of those explosive arrows for you to use up against your enemies. But you can also use them for your guns, alright, which is for your upgrades. Some of them might ask you for these, or it might ask you for some of those other ones, but with these ones, they will mainly allow you to unlock the rest of your guns for whatever amount they're asking you to use. Okay, so you'll get any of those 2 kind of things from those walls, but I don't need them at the moment in time. So that is that all done and dusted for you. Okay, so now you want to come straight back out of there. Alright. Right, so back into the water you go. And now also what you can do is just keep pushing B or circle, and Lara will go underneath the water straight away. But if you're in the middle of it, you're going to have to do it. And then Lara will pop herself back up, which will allow her to stay underneath water. But she'll have a mask underneath her in her gob to breathe underwater, which is what you'll end up getting if you get this far. Alright, also some sticks of wood over here if you want them. Oh, this is so freaking complicated. But yeah, like I said, this map's always the thick and awkwardest one you want to deal with, basically. Right, so I think that's all I can do. Oh no.